Then, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Face in your face.
What the hell is going on down there?
Face in your face.
Hey guys, it's Mizzy, and I'm a mixed girl in a mixed up world. I apologize. My computer just went haywire as I was trying to sign in. Thank you for joining me today. Fingers crossed that I can get this stream up and working. I've never done this, so I'm new to doing this. Thank you for joining me this morning. This shouldn't be a long hearing. Sorry, let me sit back a little. This shouldn't be a very long hearing today. It's basically a formality to go through the what's going on with the post commission with Robert Devine, and then they will basically set the next hearing date. So it should, like I said, it shouldn't be a long hearing. Sorry, I got crazy hair today. And then we could chat a little bit about the hearing, and then yeah, we'll go on with our day. Thank you for joining me this morning. How is everyone doing? I'm exhausted, but I'm in a good mood, and hopefully they have gotten the more of the information they need so they can progress in this, so they can, you know, the post commission can take care of him and get him so he's not a police officer anymore. We need progress in this. The family needs progress in this. You know, there needs to be some resolution in this. This happened years ago, and this is still ongoing, and it's not fair to the family and Sandra's friends that this is going on. So I just want to pop over and check the Zoom feed. It says it'll start at 9:30. I just wanted to get on early so I can try to make sure that I can hopefully get this up. What I'm going to do is I posted the link for the Zoom meeting on the Justice for Sandra Birchmore group. If there's some reason I cannot get it working, but hopefully I can. I think I figured it out last night. Fingers crossed. I'm new to this. I'm new to the streaming, so I hope I can get it working. because there's a few other hearings coming up that I would like to stream. There's a civil hearing for the civil trial coming up in a few weeks. So hopefully I can get it working. If not, I will talk. I've befriended a few the other YouTubers, so hopefully, one of them can help me if I don't have it correctly. Good morning, Mizzy. Looking beautiful. Sending love from Minnesota. Justice for Sandra Birchmore. Thank you. Thank you. My hair is a little crazy. This is like bedhead morning hair, but I wanted to make sure that I was up and rocking and rolling for this morning. I know there's a Karen Reed hearing today, so I know a lot of people will probably be watching that, but I wanted to make sure I streamed it so people could come back and watch this later at another time, because we want to make sure that we're putting out the information for people to watch, and it's very important. It's important for people to see the post commission and how it works, also to make sure that it is running properly, and that officers who are doing wrongdoing are being punished properly. So it's something that we as the public need to monitor what's going on, so we can ensure that officers that are doing what these three men did to Sandra, but even deadly force and time card theft, anything that officers are doing that they shouldn't be doing, that's not part of their job description. We want to make sure that we're also, excuse me, I have hiccups. We want to make sure that we're monitoring it as the public, because we want to make sure that the society doesn't run without police officers, but we also, as the public, have the right to monitor what they're doing to make sure that our public safety is being taken care of. And if we have rogue officers out there, committing crimes, or just being overly aggressive when they arrest somebody, or like what happened to myself and some of my friends when there was a police officer, a Massachusetts state trooper, who intimidated us, and they're not allowed to do that. So we will, as the public, we need to make sure that we watch these type of hearings to make sure that they are doing, the post commission is doing their job also. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully they've gotten more information so they can set an actual trial date for him, because this keeps getting pushed back. He was actually on December 11th was supposed to be his actual time going in front of the post commission, and as we can see, it's January 7th. So we need some progression, and we need this case to finally come to a resolution, and hopefully that results in Robert Devine losing his license to operate as a police officer anymore. Thank you. I felt like, Sandra, I feel like Sandra, and I don't want to say sound hokey, I said it last night, that I feel like she came to me and was like, Mizzy, I need you to, take on my case. And I felt like I had to do it. Nobody was speaking out, and I felt like somebody had to. So, and I have a big enough mouth to do it. So I figured, why not me? So, and that's something that people need to realize, that it only takes one person speaking out to get the ball rolling. Anybody could do what I did. If you see something, say something. And, as Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is threat to justice everywhere. So when people are silent on injustices they see, it threatens everybody's freedoms, and it allows these things to keep continuing, and we can't allow police to do what like Robert Devine did. Let me see if I can share this. It hasn't started yet, but I just want to have it up and going. So hopefully this works. I hope it works, because there are a lot of things that I want to, put up in the future. So, do it like that. Once it opens up, I'll change the screen. So how is everyone doing today? Are you guys doing good? Are you awake? My dog wakes me up at like 7 in the morning to take her out. It's so cold here. Luckily we haven't gotten snow yet, but and my dog loves to sniff everything. And I'm like, just go, Ruby. It's too cold for this. But so that got me out of bed and moving a little bit this morning. But I was like, just throw on a sweatshirt and let's get this ball rolling. So I appreciate everybody who's come here to watch this hearing with me. It's like I said, it's important that these hearings are covered. It's important to bring this all to light. Sunshine is the best disinfectant, and it's important that it's shown what went on, and that it's not just Matthew Farwell who did this. It's Robert Devine and William Farwell, and hopefully we can get Robert Devine's license soon, because he shouldn't be able to be a police officer anymore. I know he's retired, so he technically isn't a police officer anymore, but that's not enough. His license should be revoked. We can't allow officers to do what they did to Sandra and still be allowed to hold their licenses. It's not right. It's not right that it's taken this long too. It's not fair to Sandra's family. It's not fair to the public. It's not fair to their police station. They want to move on. They want to try to make things better, and they can't because they have a cloud over them. So looks like we're going live.
Good morning, Mr. Stowe.
Good morning, Judge Fishman.
Recording in progress.
And good morning, Mr. Devine.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I believe we're just waiting for Attorney Martinez, and then we can get started.
Thank you.
I spoke with Attorney Martinez about 20 minutes ago, so.
And good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, looks like everyone's here, so I think we're good to get started. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. The time is 9:30 a.m., and this is a pre-hearing conference, the matter of Robert Devine before the Massachusetts Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. We are convening remotely over Zoom, and this pre-hearing conference is open to the public, and it is being recorded. The Honorable Kenneth J. Fishman will be the presiding officer over today's pre-hearing conference. My name is Lizzie Smith, and I'm the hearings administrator for the Post Commission, and this matter is now before Judge Fishman.
All right. Well, good morning again, Council and Mr. Devine. We are here for a pre-hearing conference. I want to start by saying in reading your submitted pre-hearing memorandum, and thank you for filing those. I actually realized for the first time that you had filed your supplemental protective order, the supplement to the protective order. I know you did that back early last month. Somehow it just didn't get to my attention earlier than when I noticed it on your submission. So I apologize. We did, when I saw it, I reviewed it, I signed it, and it's been sent to you. I think, Lizzie, you sent it out this morning. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Good. Have you both seen it? Have you both received it?
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
good. But as I read your submissions, it sounds like in and of itself, that didn't really cause it create an obstacle to proceeding, because I think, in fact, Mr. Stowe, you say in your report that within the next 30 days, you're anticipating additional investigatory reports and or witnesses' statement as a result of the civil case. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor. I talked to Attorney Martinez about this morning. I was out on vacation last week, but I did receive an email that I haven't gone through and completely yet. It's an email that was sent out on the 3rd, which is last Friday, with 30 attachments to it, which are part of the Attorney General's response in the underlying the collateral civil case. Additionally, I got an email that there is an external hard drive that's being picked up by the attorney who's spearheading the discovery with the Attorney General's office. I expect he would be picking that up this week because that's an email again from Friday. And then I expect that will be distributed to the attorneys in the collateral civil case. So that's happening right now.
So the external hard drive would have this additional new discovery on it. Is that the idea?
Yes, I think that there's the 30 attachments we received on Friday, plus is an external hard drive which has, I presume, additional information, probably more voluminous information because it's on a drive rather than being provided in an email.
So let me ask you, once that's attained, and once you have access to everything that's covered by the supplemental memo, a supplemental protective order, excuse me, are you aware of any other outstanding discovery that you're seeking or anticipating receiving?
No.
Okay. So maybe we can do some realistic scheduling toward a final hearing if there is to be one.
Yes.
Okay. So let's think about that. Have you two talked about that at all?
We haven't, and I think it's because I want to see what I get. If I'm not expecting, I hope another terabyte of information that the town produced in the collateral matter, but I don't know what's there. So it may take me some time to get through it. As I said, I'm working in a vacuum until I get the information. So scheduling would have to be, I'd suggest, something a couple of months out in order to provide us information. Plus, if there's additional witnesses, I need to file motions perhaps in the civil case to overcome the protective orders that are there, to call witnesses or get information introduced that I might not otherwise be able to do. So those could be obstacles for me as far as getting.
You mean this new discovery you anticipate might identify additional witnesses? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes. I know there's at least 18 witness statements that were identified in a court motion that was produced by the town. I guess the town is holding on to 18 reports in that collateral civil matter. It's actually a matter of public record that it talks about that the Attorney General's office has been ordered to produce records from the state police, but that the town has records from the state police, but they don't know if they're encompassed in the Attorney General's response or not. So there's actually a motion for some clarification on that pending in the civil matter. So there's at least 18 witness statements out there that there may be something I've seen already. I suspect that some of them are, but I haven't seen 18 witness statements. I can I can say that clearly. I've probably seen about maybe 5 or 6. There's something out there that I clearly haven't seen that might be helpful in this case.
And how about from the division's perspective?
I expect the only outstanding discovery just to be whatever Mr. Stowe receives. I expect that the remaining materials I have that will be responsive to discovery, I'll be able to turn over by tomorrow with the new supplementary order. So I believe it's around 250 pages, so I should be getting that to Attorney Stowe tomorrow.
So you're gonna get rid of all your other cases, Mr. Stowe, as all the stuff pours in? Is that the idea?
I have quite a few cases.
I'm sure. Okay. Before we start talk schedule, what other? It sounds like, well, part of it is because you don't know what issues will arise from the additional discovery. But putting that aside, it doesn't sound like there's any dramatic issues that will come up in this, except perhaps, as you suggest, Mr. Stowe, some motions in limine and the like. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't speak to those because I believe the facts and circumstances fall under the umbrella of the protective order. So I can't speak to those in this forum.
Yeah, no, and I was asking sort of generally speaking,
Yes.
I don't want you to speak specifically about it. When we need to address those, we may have to deal with the confidentiality aspects of our proceedings a little bit in another way. Okay. What else? I am concerned that for the sake of the parties and for the sake of the process, about the delay, but I don't ascribe that to anybody's fault or anything. It's the circumstances surrounding this case. And it seems to me the parties have been diligent in their efforts to obtain and exchange discovery. And I appreciate that. But it is important that we move forward. So let's think about a schedule. You said a couple of months, you think, between the material you're about to get from the division as a result of the supplementary protective order being issued and the material that's coming at you as a result of the civil case.
Yes, and I have a couple of trials coming up as well that are going to.
Excuse me. Sorry about
overlap this as well.
Okay, I'm certain that, and I'm cognizant of your individual schedules and other matters too, so that's fine. So give me a sense of realistically how much time you think you'll need to digest, in view of your schedule and the amount of material coming, to digest this material.
Well, Judge, if we can perhaps get a status date. I know we're in January 7th today, perhaps something mid-February, February 18, 19, 20, perhaps, and I'll have a better handle on where I am. And we can perhaps at that date get some firm dates.
How's that sound to you, Mr. Martinez?
That works for me, and I can come prepared at the next conference with witness schedules, just so we can set a realistic date.
Okay, that's helpful. At this point, it sounded like, and of course, I know this is subject to change. There may be lots of stuff that appears that changes the scope of the perspective of the hearing. It sounds like the way things stand now, you only have you have 6 witnesses in mind. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. And let's see. And Mr. Stowe, it sounds like, again, understanding that there's a lot for you to review, that you've identified only 2 additional witnesses. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's grab a date for a status conference in February.
Based on the dates Attorney Stowe listed, how about February 18th? That's a Tuesday.
That works for me.
Works for
For
me.
me as well.
Good.
Great. So February 18th.
Are we always
that-
going to be this agreeable as a group here? Or do you think?
I think we are. Attorney Martinez and I, we can agree to disagree on certain things, but we get along well as far as communication and conveying of information.
Yeah, no, I've seen that and I appreciate that very much. Okay, so we'll do it 9:30 on February 18th.
Yes.
Lizzie, okay. Anything else you folks want to discuss at this point?
No, you are.
No,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, well, if you run into any obstacles on obtaining or exchanging, don't wait till the 18th. Let me know if you need me to intervene. Okay,
Sure.
very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
So that was that. So basically, like I said at the beginning of the stream, that they were going to set another hearing for when they were going to get more information. I just wish the people who were supposed to turn stuff over would just turn stuff over instead of doing this BS dance that we keep doing, and the town not providing the information and the police not providing it for the state police, and so I wish people would just turn stuff over so we can get this going. I understand that there's a case. I understand there's there's the trial that's going to come up with Matthew, but this needs to be resolved. This has been going on for too long. This man needs to lose his license to operate as a police officer. This should, it just keeps being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and it's not fair to the public. It's not fair to Sandra's family and friends, and it's not fair to the memory of Sandra Birchmore. It's ridiculous that this hasn't been resolved yet. So hopefully after the next hearing, we can get a trial date and we can get him removed as a police officer. I found it interesting that there's going to be 8, they said 8 witnesses in total, 6 from, I guess, what you would call the prosecution, and 2 additional from Robert Devine's side. It's, I don't know. There needs to be more movement in this case. It's been going on for far too long. And so I feel bad for the family because they just want this portion over so they can move on to working on the civil trial and ramping up for, the case with Matthew, in the federal case with Matthew. And it's time for this to move forward. It's time to get some movement on this. I wish he would just self decertify, but he's not going to. He's too stubborn, and he thinks he's the shit, but he's not. He's a piece of shit. So that's that. So does anybody have any questions? Is there anything I can answer about this case, about this portion of the case? This is only the post commission. This is this is just his license to operate as a police officer in the state of Massachusetts. And there is a civil trial that's happening. There's a date coming up on, I just wrote it down. Sorry, give me 1 second. It's on, I believe, the 22nd. Sorry, scrolling to the top. Yeah, on January 22nd, there is a hearing for the civil case. I will try to stream that so people can watch that. And absolutely, he's a narcissist, and he needs to go bye-byes. So I will try to stream that, unless for some reason I can get to Massachusetts for the hearing, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because we have so much stuff. I have so much stuff coming up for the following week for the anniversary of Sandra, and then Farwell's hearing, and then also Just en Route's memorial is that Friday. So there's a lot of stuff coming up the first week of February, but I will definitely get the information so I could stream the hearing here, so we could see that. That has been kind of slowed down too. And I know the family wants to get that moving also. I don't know how much movement they're going to have on that with the trial of Matthew, but hopefully the family can start doing depositions and get going with stuff. I was just reading on the page that, let me scroll back down to that the state has to turn over all information by September. So the civil trial is going to be a long time coming. Yeah. It has to all be turned over. Let me see. Yeah, it has to be. Discovery must be completed by September 18th. So it's, unfortunately, civil trials take a lot of time. It's a slow moving process. Hi, Ashley. How are you? The hearing's already over. It just happened. It wasn't a long hearing. But once I post this, you can rewatch it. It's probably about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I guess it was a little longer than that, 20 minutes. But the civil trials always take a long time, and they'll start doing the depositions soon. And but I mean, if discovery isn't going to be fully turned over till September, that affects the post commission also, because that means they're not going to get everything till September, or even further than that. So is this going to go on for another year, the post commission? It's getting to be ridiculous. His license needs to be pulled. It's not fair to the public and Sandra's family. It's not fair to all of us here who are to watch this go on. It's not right. It's not right that this man, he's pulling a pension. I don't know if his pension goes away if his license is pulled, but at least he can't if his license is pulled, at least he can't be a police officer ever again. And he'll go on a registry that is to the whole country. So if he was to move to another state, his name would pop. So yeah, Marty Riggs has to go. I fully agree with that. And if people don't know, Marty Riggs is the character from Lethal Weapon. He plays the crazy cop, and that was the handle that Robert Devine was using on Facebook Messenger to message people, and that's who he spoke to. That's how he spoke with Sandra, was through Facebook Messenger under this handle. And he tries to say it's not him, but we all know it was him. His police department says it was him. If the Stoughton Police Department is saying it's you, dude, it's you. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Sorry, my mouth is not working yet. yeah, it was my goal yesterday to reach 1,000 subscribers before I went live, and I think I reached them as I was live last night. So I appreciate everybody subscribing. Devine thought he had everybody fooled with his moniker. Ugh. He's just a piece of crap, and like Trisha said, a narcissist, and he just thinks that he is like God's gift to the world, but he's not. He's a scumbag piece of shit. Ashley says, I was subpoenaed by David Bay. Then he basically sent another letter to me saying, never mind. Then Matthew was arrested shortly after. Do you think I'll get another subpoena? I bet you will. Because I bet that, unless they're going to try to stick together, but I don't think that they're like drowning rats. So they're going to be fighting with each other. And I think Matthew and William, or at least William, will want to put the blame on Devine, which he does have a lot to blame. He is the one who spearheaded this. He's the one who is the ultimate groomer. He's the one who groomed the Farwells. So I think it needs to be part. I think that aspect of the case needs to get out there, and unfortunately that would include you, Ashley. And I want to thank you, Ashley, for being so brave to come out and put your face and your name behind it now. It's, I told you in text how proud I was of you, but I am so proud of you, because I know how scared you were to come forward before, but you stepping forward might give other people the strength to come forward, and I applaud you. It's very brave, and I know how scary it is, because we know what these men are capable of. Thankfully, Matthew's off the streets. We just got to get the other two off the streets. Thank you, Trisha, for popping in. I'll talk to you later. I'll give you a text later. Yes, definitely. We love you, Ashley, and we support you. And anything you need, if you ever need to talk, I'm a text away. That you can always come to me with any of that, because I support you, and I know how tough it is, and I know how. So thank you. I struggled with the decision for sure. I just hope any other women came forward if they're afraid. I agree. It's scary, especially since the other two are still on the streets, but you've given other women strength to hopefully come forward, and that's all we can hope for, that others will come forward and speak. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you. Like I said, I'm glad people, know that that there wasn't just one person who was affected by these men, and especially Robert Devine. And you telling your story to the globe was so so powerful, because people didn't realize. I knew, and I know it was on the Case podcast, and it's been talked about, but sometimes people don't believe till there's an actual face to a name with the face to stand up and say, hey, I had something similar happen to me. Thankfully, it didn't go as far as Sandra, but thankfully, we've talked about this, but it needs to be put out there. So hopefully, I pray that other children of this abuse that these men put out there, hopefully that, if there are other children, they come forward, because there is no way that, it was almost a 10-year difference with you and Sandra, and there is no way that he just went dormant for 10 years. There is no way. There is absolutely no way, especially knowing how he was flirting with young girls and being inappropriate and things like that. There's no way that you were the only one between you and Sandra. There's no way. So I hope other young women come forward to help hopefully put a stop to what they did, and it's because if more people come out, they might be able to get him also, because what happened to Sandra was technically, well, as far as we know, was technically when she was an adult. So with them, they might just go after like the larceny, time theft aspect of the case. But if more people come forward that were abused or groomed, we might be able to get him for that, for not just what he did to Sandra, what he did to you, for everybody. So I hope other women have come forward. It would help the case immensely. So. Ashley, as Sandra's cousin, I thank you for your stepping forward. You are amazing, and I agree with that. I fully agree with that. Whoops. So, let me see. I'll wait for a few more minutes, so it's almost an hour. Does anybody have any questions? I'm not sure when my next live stream will be. I got to talk to my special guest for next time, or I don't know. Or I could do one in between when my first guest comes on. I have to speak to a few people to try. I want to try to line up some guests in the next few weeks. Sorry, my hair is just driving me bonkers. It's so fluffy. To line, get a kind of a schedule lined up, so I'll have shows to post. But I definitely want to do more. I'm definitely going to continue talking about Sandra's case. I'm going to put a lot of information out there. Like I said, I'm going to bring in some mental health professionals who are very versed in grooming. I had somebody else reach out to me who also works in the mental health profession, who wants to give me any information I need. I don't know if she'll come on, but between her and the information she could provide me and the person I'm going to have on, that'll be a very good conversation. And also, I want to speak to some police officers. I want to speak to some lawyers, and, of how, I want to speak to police officers of how they would have handled the crime scene, how they would have handled things, and how they feel that this just went wrong. And, I want to speak to some lawyers that were possibly former prosecutors, so they can talk about how they would have handled this situation where the Michael Morrissey has not filed charges, and even still, after the FBI arresting Matthew Farwell, they still have not filed any charges, and they still have no if it doesn't seem like they even care about filing charges. So I want to talk to a bunch of people about Sandra's case, and then also, like I was saying last night, I want to showcase for you guys some of the other cases I worked on, especially Brandon Embry's case, because this case needs to get out there. You know, Brandon he's a veteran, and you know, he served his country, and he was so disrespected by the Asheboro, North Carolina police, and you know, it's disgusting how he was treated, just like Sandra, that they blamed his death on him, like how they tried to blame Sandra's death on her, and they were both murdered. And so I plan on bringing his mom on. What I'll do is we'll do an episode of, I'll show you the first episode in my series with Sarah, and then I'll bring her on. And at the beginning of the episode, we'll talk about Sandra's case, of how she came to me about Sandra's case, and then we'll talk about Brandon's case, and I might bring her on another time to talk about medical examiners, because she's done a lot of research of medical examiners throughout the country of messing up, and I think that's a vital conversation that needs to be had also, in how they work too much hand in hand with the police. Sometimes the police will just say, hey, this is what happened, and they just go with it, instead of, you know, doing what they're supposed to be independent. Even though they work with the police, they are supposed to be the last voice for the dead, and a lot of medical examiners and coroners don't do that. So she's done a lot of research on that, so I want to bring that out. And that pertains to Sandra's case also, because of what had gone on in why does this medical examiner think that Sandra killed herself? You know, so that's what my plans are for the future of the channel. I will post soon when we're going to do the next one. I'm going to talk to, you know, Jessica, and like I said, my first interview for the page. I don't want to say who it is yet. But so I think I'm going to, does anybody have any questions? Anything I could answer? I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I think I'm going to pop off. Thank you for coming to watch this with me. Like I said, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be a long meeting. I had a feeling that it was just going to be basically kicking the can down the road. But it's important to show what's going on. It's important to keep getting Matthew and William and Robert Devine's name out there. And we need his license to be pulled. We need him to fully be off the streets. I understand that he's not a cop anymore, but he still holds his license, and he shouldn't have the right to do that. So we need to keep pushing for this to happen. We need his license to be pulled. So for everybody's safety. So if nobody has any questions, I'm just going to wait like less than a minute. So at least it goes up as an hour. I will post when I'm going to do the next stream soon. So, yeah, thank you everybody for coming. You know, thank you, Jessica, for being here and moderating. You're awesome. And I'll message you a little later. And thank you everybody for watching this. It's important that we have eyes on this, because it's very important. It's vital, and it's vital for society that we get get these men off the streets. So I am going to end this stream, and I want to thank everybody again for coming. Yes, Barb. Everybody have a wonderful day. And oh, actually, it says 10 minutes. Oh, well, that's okay. I'm going to end the stream. Thank you, everybody. I'm Mizzy, and I'm a mixed girl in a mixed up world. Have a good day.